Caesar returns
Hold
in
on.
conquest. Like a careless child does the populace revel whilst oracles warn that danger threatens the life of mighty Rome herself. I have made my petitions to the Capitol, but none will hear me. This throng that follows Caesar at the heels will crowd a feeble one almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void and there speak to great Caesar as he comes along.
Hence! Home, you idle creatures, get you home. You, what trade art thou?
Oh, truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am, but as you would say, a cobbler.
Answer a tribute directly.
Indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
Then wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Oh, truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to rejoice in Caesar's triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? You blocks, you stones, you cruel men of Rome. Many a time and oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude.
Go, go, good countrymen. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go down that way towards the Capitol. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You know it is the Feast of Lupercal.
Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Forget not your speed, Antony, to touch Calpurnia. The baron touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out.
Hail Caesar!
Caesar!
Hail Caesar!
Who is this in the press that calls on me, Casca? Speak, Caesar's turn to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
Who is that, Brutus?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Let me look upon this seer's face.
Here, Caesar.
Beware the Ides of March.
A dreamer. Let us leave. Pass.
Will you go to see the order of the course, Brutus?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
I am not gamesome, Cassius.
I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have.
Vexed I am of late with conceptions only proper to myself, so that Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Well, tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius. The eye sees not itself, but my reflection by some other things.
It is just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would have me seek to myself for that which is not in me?
Good Brutus, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which yet you know not of.
Caesar, 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 Caesar.
Well, what means this shouting? Do you fear the people choose Caesar for their king?
Then must I think you would not have it so?
I would not, Cassius, I would not. Yet I love him well. But what is it you would impart to me?
I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both were fed as well, We can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me,
"Dost thou, Cassius, now leap in with me to this angry flood and swim to yonder point?"
Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, but ere we could arrive, the point proposed,
"Help me, Cassius, or I sink."
And I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And he had a fever when he was in Spain, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Titinius, as a sick girl. And this man is now become a god? And we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves? Men at some times are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings.
Caius Cassius, what you would work me to, I have some aim. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear and find the time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under such hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but this much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will tell us what hath preceded worthy note today.
Casca.
Aye, Brutus.
Tell us, what hath chanced today?
Why, there was a crown offered him, and he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
Who offered him a crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I saw Marc Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither, as little as coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it a third time. And still as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
What said he when he came unto himself, Casca?
He said if he had done anything or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul!" But if Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less. I can tell you more news too. Marullus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
Farewell. And so it is. Cassius, for this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will wait for you.
Jovan, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he would not humor me. But I will this night in several hands in at his window throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
With the coming of night, the heavens themselves rise in protest of mortal wrongs. Caesar, as heedless to my warning as to the raging winds, confers with his trusted friend Marc Antony at his home.
Antonio.
Caesar?
Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. This Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much, and such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Oh, would he were fatter. But I fear him not. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Such men as he never be at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me what thou truly thinkst of him.
Who walks the street on such a night?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing infirm? Oh, Cassius, I have seen tempests where the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds, but never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those who have known the earth so full of faults. Now could I cast a name to thee, a man no mightier than myself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these straight eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Ah.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land.
I know where I will wear my dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius.
Take my hand. Let us join for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man in Tyre upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, conspiracy by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask their monstrous visage? Oblivious to the storm, Brutus sits in his orchard in deep meditation. The letters which Cassius forged are brought to him under the cover of night. One by one he reads them.
Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake and see thyself. The starlight makes poor reading. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, arise, sleep not. Such instigations have been often dropped, or I have took them up. Shall Rome, thus I must piece it out, shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestor did from the streets of Rome like the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. For my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at Caesar, but for the general, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder. Crown him, and then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. To speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason, but 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascent. So may Caesar, then, lest he may prevent. Somebody knocks?
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears and half their faces buried in their cloaks.
Let them enter. Shameless thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free.
Think we are too bold upon your rest. Tomorrow, Brutus, do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Between the first notion and the acting of a dreadful thing, all the interims like a phantasm or a hideous dream. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And every one doth wish you had that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This Decius.
Welcome too.
This Casca, Cinna, and this Metellus.
You are all welcome. It must be by his death. Give me your hands all over one by one.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius well urged. I think it is not meet Marc Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver.
Our course will seem too bloody, Cassius. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs? Let us be sacrifices, but not butchers. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. Oh, that we then would come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But gentle friends, let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. Peace. Mark the hour.
The morning comes upon us. Let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. The sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse, if these bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then countrymen, what oath need we other than honesty to honesty engaged? That this shall be, or we will fall for it.
We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
So good morrow to you, everyone.
Good morrow.
Good morrow.
Boy, Lucius, fast asleep? No matter. Enjoy the heavy honey dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures nor no fantasies which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleepest so sound.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, wherefore rise you now?
You haven't gently, Brutus. Stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing. And when I asked you what the matter was, you with an angry waft of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, hoping it was but an effect of humor. But it will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
What? So I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
What? Is Brutus sick? And will be still out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sycophants within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once commended beauty, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you. Some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were, gentle Brutus. Am I yourself, but as it were in sore to limitation to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret. I grant, I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made a strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh God, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, go in a while, and by and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart.
Help! Oh, they murder Caesar! Ah! Ah!
My lord Caesar!
Not heaven nor earth shall be at peace tonight. Thrice has Calpurnia in her sleep cried out. Go bid the priests do present sacrifice and bring me the opinions of their success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? You shall not stir out of our house today.
The Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they frighten me. There is one within, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. Graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons, and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet these predictions are to the world in general, as they are to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen.
Cowards die many deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I have yet heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today, plucking the entrails of an offering forth. They could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home for fear.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
For thy humor, I will stay at home.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
Good Decius, bear my greetings to the senators and tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not. False, I will not come today.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is my will. I will not come. But because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it.
This dream is all misinterpreted. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood.
This way have you well expounded it.
And know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid?
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go.
O fate, may thy path not be diverted. Caesar follows thy course up the marble steps of the Capitol. O fate, lay a gentle hand on our Rome.
The Ides of March are come, Soothsayer.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
All having business, come into the Capitol chamber.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise? What enterprise, Popilius?
Fare you well.
What said Popilius?
He said he wished our enterprise may thrive. I fear our project is discovered.
Look how he makes the Caesar. Mark him.
Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Look, Popilius speaks not about purposes, for he smiles and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows his time. Look you, Brutus, he draws Marc Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus? Let him go and presently prepare his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press near and second him.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most glorious Caesar, Metellus Cimber draws before thy seat with a humble heart.
Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which meddles his fools. Thy brother, by decree, is banished.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Metellus' brother may have an immediate freedom of appeal.
O Caesar.
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Does Brutus, bootless, kneel?
Hands, speak for me.
Yeah.
Et tu, Brute? Then, Caesar.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence! Cry it about the streets!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not. Stand still. Ambition's debt is paid.
Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Oh, fates, that we shall die we know, but the time. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. Then walk we forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then, and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown? So often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What, shall we forth?
Aye, Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Here comes Antony. Welcome, Marc Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories and triumphs, spoils, shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. You see but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts, you see not. To you our swords have leaden points, Marc Antony.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have pacified the multitude, and then we will deliver you the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
Antony, what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends?
Let each man render me his bloody hand. Friends, am I with you all, and love you all? Upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Marc Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which you will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first.
I like it not.
Marc Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
I do desire no more.
Good. Prepare the body then and follow us.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, a curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Blood and destruction shall be so in use that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered in the hands of war. And Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc. Let slip the dogs of war.
We will be satisfied.
Let us be satisfied.
Then give me audience, friends, and public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak.
Noble Brutus is ascended. Silence.
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause and be silent that you may hear. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? As Caesar loved, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. Who is here so base that would be Caesar's bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended.
None, Brutus.
None.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you would do to Brutus. Here comes his body, mourned by Marc Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. To grace the Caesar's corpse and grace his speech tending the Caesar's glories, which Marc Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus.
Live, live.
Bring him with triumph home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
Stay, ho, and let us hear Marc Antony.
We'll hear him. Noble Antony, speak.
For Brutus's sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholding to us all.
'Twere best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace, let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace, ho!
Let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred in their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. Caesar hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause to come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
Caesar has had great wrong.
I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Marked ye his words. He would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now, mark him. He begins again to speak.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honorable men. Yet if you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. Look, that day he overcame the Nervae. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. When the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude more strong than traitor's arms quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall there was, my countrymen. And I and you and all of us fell, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vestures wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors!
Oh, piteous spectacle.
Noble Caesar.
Oh, woeful day!
Oh, traitors, villains!
Oh, most bloody sight.
We will be revenged.
Revenge.
About.
Seek.
Burn.
Fire.
Kill.
Slay.
Let not a traitor live.
Stay, countrymen.
Peace there. Hear the noble Antony.
We'll hear him. We'll follow him. We'll die with him.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
We'll mutiny!
We'll mutiny! We'll burn the house of Brutus!
Away then! Come, seek the conspirators!
Yet hear me, gentlemen! Yet hear me speak!
Peace, ho!
Here, Antony!
Most noble Antony.
Parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. It is his will. Let but the commons hear the testament, and they would go and dip their napkins in his sacred blood.
Read it, Antony. The will.
The will!
We will hear Caesar's will.
Under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen, he gives 75 drachmas!
Most noble Caesar will revenge his death.
Oh, royal Caesar!
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never, never! Come, we'll burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands fire the traitors' houses. Take up the body.
Go fetch fire.
Pluck down benches!
Pluck down doors, windows, anything.
Thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
A great fire is made, and Caesar's body burned in the marketplace. Revenge spreads across the Capitol with the smoke from the pyre. The populace hungers for blood.
You, what is your name?
Why, Cinna.
Tear him to pieces. He's a conspirator.
No, I am Cinna the poet. Cinna the poet.
No matter, his name is Sinner. Tear his name out of his heart.
Brutus and Cassius are led like madmen to the gates of Rome. Octavius, Caesar's nephew, comes, his uncle's blood crying vengeance in his veins. He meets Antony at his home, and with Caesar's counsel, Lepidus, they conspire.
These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother, too, must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent, Octavius.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition, Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Marc Antony.
He shall not live. Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to fund our cause with legacies.
I will do so.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
You took his voice, who should be pricked to die.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold.
But he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And now listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, and let us presently go sit in council.
Let us do so. For we are bade about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
And so are put to death 100 senators. As Caesar's body molders, so does Rome. The empire is riven in two. Some stand with Brutus and Cassius, others with Antony and Octavius. Dark seasons pass. Two mighty armies gather on the arid plains near Philippi to do battle. Yet time has wrought decay within the factions.
Stand ho!
Stand!
Most noble Brutus, you have done me wrong. I say you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, Cassius, how should I wrong a brother?
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters, praying on his side, were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every small offense should bear a comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mart your offices for gold.
I, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement.
Remember March, the Ides of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? But shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bait not me, I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, I, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Tempt me no further, I shall forget myself.
Away, slight man.
Is it possible? Must I endure all this?
All this? Aye, more. Fret till your proud heart breaks. Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are so waspish.
You wrong me every way, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Oh, peace, peace. You durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not?
No.
What? Not tempt him?
For your life, you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed in such honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius?
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
A flatterer's would not, though they appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and you, Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is a-weary of this world. Hated by one he loves, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. Here's my dagger, and here my naked breast. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar. For I know when thou didst hate him worse, you loved him better than ever you loved Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
I did not think that you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Ah, but Portia?
She is dead.
Upon what sickness?
Impatient at my absence and grieved that young Octavius and Marc Antony have made themselves so strong. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
Oh, ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Lucius, give me that bowl of wine.
Yes, my lord.
In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Lucius, fill till the wine o'erswell the cup. Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Oh, your reason?
Young Octavius and Marc Antony come down upon us with a mighty power. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest and nimbleness.
Ah, Good reasons must of force give place to better. Our legions are brimful. Our cause is right. There is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and miseries. We must take the current when it serves or lose all.
Then with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
Now the deep of night has crept upon our talk. There is no more to say.
Oh, my dear brother, that was an ill beginning of this night. Never come such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother. Give me my gown, Lucius. Look, Lucius, here's the book I sought for so.
I was sure your lordship did not give it me.
Bear with me, good boy. I am much forgetful. Gentle knave, good night. If I do live, I will be good to thee.
Good night, my lord.
Let me see. It is not the leaf turns down, where I left reading. Here it is, I think. Oh, how this taper burns. Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shakes this monstrous apparition. No, it comes upon me. Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makest my blood cold and my hair to stand? Speak to me what thou art.
Evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou, Caesar?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, I will see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken heart, thou vanished in ill spirit. I would hold more talk with thee. Lucius, Claudio, sirs, awake, Claudio! Lucius, awake!
Oh, my lord?
Didst thou dream, Lucius, that thou criedest out?
No, lord, I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers at once, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. Their forces are at hand before we do demand of them.
But they think by this face to fasten our thoughts that they have courage. Octavius, lead your army softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand eye, keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me?
I do not cross you, but I will do so. Yeah!
Prepare, you generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. They stand and would have parley.
Marc Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer on their charge.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better as you do.
Good words are better than good strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the hybla bees and leave them honeyless.
And stingless too?
Oh yes, for you very wisely fret before you sting.
Villains! You did not so, and your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers. Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come, the cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never, till this Caesar has added slaughter to the sword of traitors. Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. Yeah!
The storm is up, and all is on the hazard. Most noble Brutus, this very day was Cassius born.
Most noble brother, salutations.
The affairs of men rest still uncertain. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together?
This same day must end that work the Ides of March began. Forever and forever, farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why, then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed.
Why, then lead on. Here.
Ah!
The armies gather, and the clouds within the camps. 2 eagles fall upon each other. All men watch in silence. The eagle nearest Brutus yields and flees to the field. At this omen, Octavius strikes. At first, the tide of battle is with Brutus. His right wing drives back Octavius's army towards the sea.
Metellus, ride and give orders unto Cassius' legions. Let them set on at once. A sudden push gives Octavius the overthrow. Ride!
With Cassius's force, the body of the army is crippled by Antony's advance.
Oh, Metellus! Brutus gives the word too early. His soldiers fall to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Cut off from any hope or assistance, Octavius sees his whole force crumble. In vain does he try to prevent their flight. Snatching a flag, Cassius plants it at his feet.
Stand, Romans! Stand and fight!
As the sun wanes, and even his personal guard has fled his side, Cassius retreats to a small clearing with his servant Pindarus.
The time has come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. Come hither, Pindarus. With this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom.
No, my lord.
And not to answer. Here, take thou the hilt, and guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
Where Pindarus is Cassius?
Lo, yonder Brutus, he is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. Fare thee well, Cassius. It is impossible that ever Rome should breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time.
Brothers, Metellus came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Slaying is the word, Casca. It is a deed in fashion. Come hither, good Decius.
What says my lord?
Decius, the ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Thou seest the world how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Decius, we two went to school together. For our love of old, I prithee, hold out my sword hilt whilst I run on it.
That's an office not for a friend, my lord.
Fly, fly, brothers, there is no tarrying here.
Farewell, Casca, and to you, Decius. Farewell to thee too, Strato. Countrymen, my heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day more than Octavius and Marc Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. Night hangs upon mine eyes. My bones would rest that have but labored to attain this hour.
Fly, Brutus, fly.
Farewell, my friend.
Hence I will follow. I prithee, Strato. Stay thou by thy lord. Thy life hath had some snatch of honor in it. Hold in my sword and turn away thy face, whilst I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Strato. Caesar, now be still. I killed thee, not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that? Bring a torch.
He who was Brutus, Octavius. Your conquerors can but make a fire of him. But Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath the honor by his death.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did what they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So shall the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.
Happy day? Not long. Caesar's spirits will not rest. Soon will mighty Antony, pillar of the world, be transformed into Cleopatra's fool, and Roman armies will clash again. For all the struggles of the conspirators, a Caesar will be crowned, Octavius, who will not only be king, but God. Blood will indeed flow from Caesar's font. For 400 years as Rome dies a long and painful death. Thus, the tragedy of Julius Caesar.
You have just heard The Tragedy of Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. This adaptation was originally written and produced by J. Stern and Craig Wichman of Quicksilver Radio Theater. This evening you heard Alan Dolderer, Dan Renkin, Timothy J. Cox, Kay Cook, Bob Rutan, Sarah Baets, Craig Wichman, Michael LAzarus, and Steve Viola. This has been a No Epilogue production. Good night.